fail. All they have to do is not intend to succeed. Isn't it interesting that success requires intention? It's fascinating. Nobody has to intend or try to fail. All they have to do is not intend to succeed. Isn't it interesting that success requires intention and failure only requires neglect? If you're going to be clean, that requires intention. To be dirty, all you got to do is exist. Don't take a bath. All deterioration can happen without any intention at all. This is why we have to become hyper intentional about everything that could make our life better. And stop blaming other people for the reason your life ain't working. So, become a better communicator. I don't like to talk. Well, congratulations, that makes two of us. Now what you gonna do about it? I'm not good at talking. Well, then go get better. You learned how to ride a bicycle, you couldn't do that when you got here either. You learned how to use a computer, you learned how to use a phone, you learned how to drive a car. And you think God's gonna let you off the hook because you say, I don't know how to do that. I got two words for you. Child, please. Let's go become better communicators. Because when you communicate, then and only then, when you communicate better, then and only then can you elevate. And when you elevate, then you get to participate in the compensate. But don't put the cart before the horse. You know how you can tell if your message is good? Somebody listening to you? Are they taking action on what you said? If they ain't listening, yeah, you talking and you're really impressed with what you said, but you are the only one. Maybe your mama. Let's become better communicators. How can I do it? Here's what I can do. I can become a better vertical communicator. And if I'm not good at communicating, ask God to teach me. God, teach me how to be a better communicator. How good of a communicator is God? So good that when he spoke, worlds came into existence. Isn't it interesting that we're made in the image of God? Like the whole Bible is just showing us how to be more like him. The existential nature of the world exists because God is a communicator. The experiential nature of the world in which we experience life in exists because of how we communicate. You want a better experience of life? Get better at communicating. It's how God set it up. Now, I can try to figure, I know what y'all are wondering, by the way. I forgot to tell you. Where is that 4 levels of value in Genesis chapter 1? Who's wondering that? I don't remember seeing that. Okay. At least 2 of us. Thank you, sister. Okay. When God created everything in Genesis chapter 1, wow. I've been going for a while. When God created everything in Genesis chapter 1, he created 3 categories in creation. He created creation. He said, let there be. Let there be light. Let there be a firmament above the heavens, right? Let there be, when he created creation. He created creatures. He said, let the earth bring forth and let the waters bring forth. Let the earth bring forth the land animals. Let the water bring forth the fish and the fowl. Okay. But when God created man, he didn't say, let there be man. And he didn't say, let the earth bring forth man. That's how I know earth ain't my mama. And he didn't say, let the waters bring forth man. You know what he said? When God made man, and the word man is Adam, which means Adam and Eve, because God called their name Adam. Okay, when I say man, I'm talking about men and women. When God created man, he started talking to himself. He said, let us make man in our image. And let them have dominion over the fish, the sea, the fowl of the air, and over every creeping thing that moves upon the earth. So God said, let us make man in our image. Isn't that fascinating? But when he said, let's make man in our image, that tells us something. You ready? The image existed before he said it. Because if there was no image, he would have had nothing to create man in the image of. So the image existed first. That's the highest level that is, the image of God. That's the highest level. Then God said, that's the communication. But he didn't say, let me make man in my image. What did he say? Let us make man in our image. That's the unification. But he still wasn't done. Genesis chapter 2, what happened? God formed, that's squeezed, man out of the dust of the ground. What happened? God formed man after he made the man. Then he breathed the man that he made into the body that he formed. He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. That's the implementation. So when God created the crown of his creation, he used imagination, communication, unification, and implementation. Guess what? When we're going to create the crown of our life, it's going to require imagination. It's going to require communication. It's going to require unification. In what way? We're going to have to become congruent. Our congruency has to begin with becoming congruent with God and his truth. Did I say that too fast? It has to begin with becoming congruent with God and his truth. So when I get myself in alignment with God's truth, now I'm congruent with him. Now I can be congruent with me. But see, here's what often happens. We desire something over here and expect something over here. And guess what that makes us? A double-minded man or woman. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Let not that man think he shall receive anything of the Lord. So we need congruency. But if we have all of that, we have all the imagination in the world, all of the communication in the world, the best communication in the world, and all the congruency in the world, if we don't do something and take an action, it doesn't matter. That's how you communicate to elevate. I hope this blesses you. In the meantime, in between time, stay blessed by the best. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Okay. All right. Yes, Trudy, talk to me.